What's up guys, and welcome back to the iherng podcast, and today we will answer a question from email. This is from Madam Yo. Hi iherng, I have been watching your YouTube channel since many years ago, and I really want to say thank you for all your effort in creating this channel. Many people are benefiting from you, including me. What I like about your channel is you do this channel mainly is to educate people regarding the reality in property industry without the intention of selling the property to gain money. Not like other gurus where they have the intention behind the wall. People also cari makan ni, okay? Never mind one. I'm Madam Yo, 50 years old. My husband is 54. We are currently still working and we are planning to retire in 2032. Wow, so precise, man. But by that time, we will have around $1 million in EPF. Currently, we have 6 properties on hand, 4 under my name and my husband's name, 2 under my daughter's name. The details of the 6 properties are in the Excel file attached. Our planning is, by the time we retire, we will move into a smaller apartment nearer to the MRT station because as we are getting old, we got no energy to keep the big house clean compared to where I'm staying at the moment. Furthermore, we have no intention to stay together with the kids. They have their own life. We don't want to disturb them. But I plan to move to a place that is close to them lah. Why I will choose to move to an apartment instead of a landed is because we need facilities like the gym, swimming pool, and it's convenient to use the MRT. We noticed that due to inflation, the prices of houses are getting higher. Therefore, we decided to help both our daughters to purchase their first home. We help them to buy the property which is within their ability to pay the installment, which is around 1,001 to 1,005. Both apartments are under market value and managed to mark up to full loan. Therefore, we don't need to pay deposit and legal fees, but we need to pay cash for renovation, which is around 30,000. By paying 30,000 each house for renovation fee, they will get their own house and they will serve the installment by themselves. To me and my husband, we think that this is good to them and let them have the responsibility for paying the house by themselves. At least they will have one house which belongs to them lah. My question is, based on the 4 properties that I have currently, what is your suggestion to do on the 4 properties by the time we are retired? Sell off or to maintain 1 or 2 units for the rental? My plan is to sell the 3-story shop and the cluster home, then pay off the outstanding of the 2 apartments and cash buy 1 small unit apartment for own stay. What do you think? Is it a good planning? Lastly, I would like to seek your opinion on Journey, residence under Sunway, which is located next to Sunway Journey MRT station. Do you think it's a good investment or is it good for own stay since it's next to MRT station? Okay, so let me read the Excel first. 6 properties here. The first one is a 3-story shop lot. When they bought, it was 1.7. Now it's 2.1. Second is a cluster home. They bought 400,000. Now it's about $1 million. So they are now staying inside lah. Third one is an apartment. When they bought, it was around 200,000. Now it's 280,000. The fourth one is also an apartment. They bought at 385,000. Now it's 450,000. Then for the apartments of the daughter, they bought about 1 year ago only, where the monthly installment is actually lower than the rental. So it's actually good. The first one is 1,004. Can rent out to 1,005 for the current rent. The second daughter's one, they bought 260,000. Monthly installment is 1,001, but the current rent is around 1,005. So thank you very much for the very detailed email, as I always love, right? I love context a lot. Let me figure out first, like 54 years old husband, 50 years old Madam Yo, got 6 properties, 4 under their name, 2 under their daughter's name because they buy to make sure they got responsibility. They are planning to retire in 2032, which is 7 years from now. So by then they will have 1 million in their EPF, so they can retire already lah. So now as they retire, what to do with their properties? Do they sell all off or to maintain 1 or 2 for rental income? Then the last question is about Journey Residence by Sunway lah. So we go one by one, okay? First of all, I would want to congratulate both of you already. Like at 50 to 54, you got about 6 on hand, right? That is the exact goal that I would want every Malaysians to have. But you all upgrade a little bit lah. But let me explain, right? The goal of the channel is to help every Malaysians to at least have 2 to 3 properties by the time we retire. It means if you buy one at 28, you buy a second one at 38, you buy one more when you are rich at 48. So by the time you retire at about 60 to 65, right, you will have 3 properties already. 1 for own stay, 1 for retirement, and 1 for just in case. And here also it allows us to fully leverage on the 90% loan that is provided by the government. every Malaysian gets to buy 2 residential properties at 90% loan at one time. So at one moment, you can maximum have 2 90% slots for property purchases. And I realize a lot of people don't know how good and how fortunate we have this. Every other investors from overseas, right, looking at this fact, everybody like, wow, Ailio, Malele, right? Really, they are just so envious of what we have in terms of loan facilities. So I do think that every Malaysian should really at least leverage it and maximize it, because moving forward, will there be more goodies or less goodies actually? Last time, there weren't such things. There's no limitation to how many 90% slot you can take. It's all you can qualify. It means if you can buy 10, if your income statement can support, you can buy 10 and 90%. But after the previous bubble, everybody is very concerned of speculation of property investors. Therefore, they kind of limited to now every Malaysians with 2. Wow, imagine if now you can buy 10 with such facilities, right? The second point I admire a lot is how your generation, Madam Yo, which is my parent generation, just want to show a lot of love to the work ethic and the amount of sacrifice you guys give to your family. To an extent, like you guys paid off everything, raised the family, pay for the studies, make sure 2 of your daughters graduate, and now both have their own apartments under their names to begin with. That is solid, but here, the caveat is you only pay for the down payment and the renovation fee. My initial concern when I read this is why put such a burden to the children, right? What if your daughter, right after graduate, she don't want to work first, she want to go and see the world first? She can just work part-time in Australia, New Zealand, wherever, right? Wow, then with such a commitment, right, you actually robbed her from her opportunity to venture out. But the difference here will then be the knowledge on investment. I really like how you pick the units where it's under market value, so you get to mark up on the SPA to qualify for more loan. It brings down the amount of capital that you need to pay upfront. Then you use that capital for renovation instead to make it into a fully furnished. Perfect for own stay, but it enables the unit to be rented out at the best price within the market. So, I really admire this move where even if both daughters decided not to live within, they want to rent somewhere else, the unit can be rented out at a price where renter can cover their installment. Immediately, right, they will understand a few concepts. One, hey, people actually pay money for space, and I understand how I use the tenants' money to pay bank, and I build equity within the property itself. After running a channel for so long, right, this is the concept that is the hardest for people to really capture. What the hell is equity building? What the hell is collecting rent and pay the bank? Every month I got no money I collect 3,000, I pay 3,000, then I need to cough out for maintenance. What am I earning actually every single month, right? Well, you only see the actual amount in like 8 to 10 years time. But if you didn't start, you will never understand how wealthy people build equity via properties. It's not like you use a lot of money also, correct? So I'm glad that these are the values that you are passing down to your lovely daughters. They equip them with the necessary education, not only from academic, professional papers, from a financial point of view as well. And I like also how practical you sound. So you totally sound like my mom. After you're ready, you move out. I don't want to stay with you. I'm not going to take care of your children or whatsoever. I will move out, and I love the idea of downsizing from landed to a high-rise. In exchange, you will have a lot of facilities that you don't need to maintain yourself. Pay money only, right? So you pay about 300 to 400 in terms of maintenance fee. You get swimming pool, gym, garden, security, dedicated car park, whatsoever. And I totally agree. I'm not the type where I want to fancy a big giant mansion house. So I just really struggle to understand why people want house big one. House big, right? Let's say you got one house with 6 toilets, right? So many toilets you need to wash yourself. If not, then people might argue, hey, people got maid you don't need to manage the maid, So when you have so many workers and maid in the house, right, then you got so big house but no privacy, then for what? You have valuables, you cannot chincai throw here, throw there because you worry there's always people in the house. Not for me lah. If you have a very big family, then it will be a wonderful time, but I would just rent for a week just for vacation. That's about it lah. Okay, now down to the serious question, right? What to do during retirement? There's a few questions that I would like to clarify. Number one, what do you mean by retirement? Retirement means totally both of you stop working already, then income straight away zero, and you start living off the rent and whatever money that you have in EPF. Is that your definition of retirement? Because 7 years from now, 2032, your husband is 61 years old. To me, is it very, very old? Not really lah. Like my parents, like my father-in-law, mother-in-law, all super healthy, right? Thankful. And my take has always been never retire. Like, why retire? You can slow down, you can take it easy. Instead of last time you keep chasing people for payment, chasing people for stock or whatsoever, I need to hit this KPI by this time whatsoever, right? Now you don't need already ma. Unless both of you are under employment. So the opportunity to work is not really highly under your control. So that one a whole different story lah. But if you guys are running your own thing, I would suggest just slow down instead of full stop entirely. I think most of us, what a modern problem to have, right? Most of us will struggle to actually retire. Right? I do think that most of us are not really pursuing a carefree, a holiday lifestyle all the time. Every day wake up, eat breakfast at my own time, do my own thing, then eat again, then sleep again, then rest, then massage, then go. For the rest of your life, let's say you guys are 60, right? Need to do until 90, That's another 30 years, Like why day offs or why holiday is such an enjoyable environment, because from our day-to-day 9 to 5, we work, we sacrifice, we struggle, go through the grit. Then sometimes we just splurge a little bit for 1 week or 2 weeks, right? Then wow, it feels amazing. It's just a sudden change of environment. You just drop everything for a while and just enjoy life a little bit. If your job is to really go to hotels and enjoy all the time, right? Not easy one End up what? Like I look at a lot of old folks, whole day become keyboard warrior. Scroll. I now really do suspect that a lot of keyboard warriors, right, are elderlies. They got all the time in the world, they got all the wisdom in the world, but nobody needs their contribution. Nobody cares about what they think. And suddenly, I call this the auntification. So suddenly everybody, when you meet people for the first time, suddenly you become so entitled. You demand for attention, you demand for services, you demand for people's time or whatsoever. You demand people's respect or whatsoever. Yeah, so that's my fear actually. But bear in mind, this is coming from a workaholic point of view. Like I will do this until the end of my time. It will be so cool, right? Seeing 80 years old Sean, maybe with my chuchu on my lap, right? Talking about how last time property you all don't want to buy. That's so funny. And after speaking to several of my friends, most of my friends are within that age, which is 50 plus, 60 plus, right? After they sold their business for 10 million, 20 million, right? They got nothing to do. They're like, Sean, I'm living the life already. They are bored out of their mind. Suddenly now all start businesses again. Bro, how to run ads on social media? Bro, open AI okay? Bro, how you buy Bitcoin? They are giving me all these questions again, and it makes them feel alive. I personally do believe that all of us need that slight dosage of challenges in our life every single day. That makes life very, very exciting. Then you still get to contribute to the society, contribute to your workforce, contribute to the country, contribute to your family. Well, this is just me questioning about the retirement plan, because if you total zero, the entire strategy of your property will be different. If you just choose to slow down maybe half the income, right? Technically, you don't have to sell anything. But that leads to question number 2. Is there anything that you guys want to achieve? I just learned this from Mr. Faizul Rizwan, the CEO of Far Capital, right? So we had a session like a month ago. The conversation reminded me of why are we doing property investment in the first place. It's to enable us to pursue the goals that we want. Whether is it to give to our family members, to spend more time with our loved one, whatsoever, right? Property investment is just a tool for us to achieve the goals that we want. So, what is your goal? A property mentor of mine that I learned everything from. So now she kind of sold half of her property, if not mistaken. She didn't tell me everything because I don't know how many properties she have also. So she sold 1 or 2 apartments which she fully paid off already. And the goal now, like she is such a workaholic. Ever since young, I know her. And she's adapting the same mentality to her retirement life. Throughout her younger life, she struggled, she strived, she worked very hard, she just provided for the family again and again. And now when the family kind of are independent already, the children are all doing fabulously. She also sold her business, and with all the money, it becomes a fund to 100% spend on her vacation. So her justification is this: I want to travel until I cannot travel anymore. Because now she's at a sweet zone where mobility, no issue, fitness level still okay. She can eat whatever she wants, she can sleep whenever she wants. Even if flight delay every now and then, right, she's fine because there's nowhere to rush. Okay, so she's in that perfect, ideal situation to travel the world. Imagine with like $500,000 maybe. Her goal now is to finish that fund on traveling. As a result, now I don't get to see her already because I don't know where is she all the time. Then for Mr. Faizul is when parents want to conduct their Muslim prayers, I didn't call Haji, and without hesitation, he just sent. Like, he is willing to sell properties to just let the loved ones fulfill their life goals or dreams. Ultimately, that's the main reason why we are doing this, correct? You know, every single month, think about installment. Wow, stress leh. Income not enough, how? What if tenant don't pay, how? Renovation, cash upfront, how? So many things to think about, right? But the result is we get this ability to enable anybody we want to pursue their goals. So, question number 2 is, do you have any? For question 1 and 2, that one you need to discuss with your husband, see what you guys want to do. But now let's review the plans that you have, which is to sell your 3-story shop and to sell your cluster home, and you use the proceeds to just pay off the 2 of the apartments and cash buy another one. If you sell your shop lot at 2.1 million, your outstanding amount is about 1.5, then you get 600,000. Let's pay some tax, 500,000. Okay. Your cluster home is about 1 million now. You sell, after clearing all your outstanding amount, you get about 530,000. Again, 500,000. So you got 1 million there already. So with that 1 million, you can settle 2 of your apartments where the outstanding amount is 120,000 plus 360,000. So it's about 480,000. So now with 1 million, you clear 480,000, remaining 500,000 where you want to buy Sunway Journey. And every single month, you will have your money rental as your cash flow entirely because no more installment at 1,005 plus 1,008. So it's about 3,003. So in your plan, now you have no debts anymore. Every month you got 3,003 from 2 apartments. You have a brand new apartment in Sunway Journey, and you have 500,000 in cash plus 1 million in EPF. Question is that sufficient? That is where question 1 and question 2 just now correlates lah. Because at 1.5 million today for the next 30 years, well, that depends on the lifestyle that we want also lah. Like 3,003 cash flow, is it a lot? Is it life-changing? No. Is the 500,000 a life-changing thing at 60 years old? No. It's okay lah, not too bad lah. In this situation, right or wrong, again, I keep going back to the same point, right? What is your true north? What do you want to do? Look at the list further. I think another variable here will be the timing and execution. It means like we are not going to do this plan like tomorrow straight away. So we got 7 more years. So, and this 7 years is going to be a very exciting one. We foresee that interest rate will drop further. Hopefully it comes true where Jerome Powell comes down in the US. Then it drops interest, then Singapore will follow, then Malaysia will also follow a little bit. And imagine at the current 3.8 to 4% interest rate, we just had our best quarter last year in terms of sales performance and transactions. Imagine when the interest rate is 2.8%, maybe 2.5%. Woo, back to COVID days, right? Along with all the infrastructure announcement like the MRT3, they just signed the papers, LRT, RTS, HSR, maybe, hopefully, not too sure. All I'm saying is that is coming. And if that really comes, then please make sure to really capture the opportunity to exit whatever that you want. And we can do this progressively. Like the cluster home, you can hold as long as possible. There's no rush to actually move into the apartment, right? So eager want to retire, man. Maybe you are, I don't know. Like first step, we sell off the 3-story shop, and maybe now it's 2.1 million. 5 years from now, let's have a perfect estimate, maybe 2.2. But when the rental can already cover the monthly installment, right, would you still want to sell? Like currently now you feel like selling it because your monthly installment is 9,600, your monthly rent is 8,000. What if you have a change in mind? It's perfectly fine, right? At that time maybe it's at 2.5 already leh. And this is my point. I do think that plans should be drawn on sand instead of carved in stone. So there's always certain flexibility based on how the market performs. And the debate is also this. Would you want to sell an asset that has higher capital appreciation, or you want to sell one that has lower capital appreciation? For the two apartments that you own, right? Let's say 5 years from now, it's not going to make a lot of difference because the game is always cash flow. And for the other audiences who are listening to this, right? Whenever we invest in properties also, we do ask like, what's the intent instead of investment? And investment also, we got categorization. Do you prefer capital appreciation, cash flow, or extreme cash flow but high risk? This is the Airbnb type lah. For the first one, capital appreciation has always been a story around landed properties. You want more, then you go for corner lots. You want more, you go for shop offices. You want more, you go for industrial lots. You want more, you go for land in prime locations. Then it then depends on how much you can afford lah. If you can afford only 300,000, let's not talk about it lah. If you have a budget about 3 million to 30 million, let's roll. The game that we have always been playing is the second one, which is cash flow. Somewhat also close to capital appreciation, because the bet is as rental will also rise, that will also lead to an increase in capital appreciation. Of course, not as drastic, but throughout the years, at least we don't bleed. Like now, the shop lots, it has made about 400,000 in 8 years time. Is it awesome? I think so. But if you think about the amount of cash outlay that you need to put out, the amount of bleeding that you are paying every single year, that is about 25,000 a year, right? Do you really make a lot of money? Not really one. So then again, this is a discussion on what to sell and what to hold. Okay, if you decide to sell this, then you will have this amount of cash, which is about 600,000. Let's assume 7 years from now is 2.5 million and the outstanding amount is 1.3, right? So you minus off, you get about 700,000. And that perfectly can cover the two apartments, and now you have a full cash flow of about 3,300 to 3,500 lah, just somewhat guesstimate a future amount. So every month now you got cash flow 3,500 plus half of the income that you guys have, plus a fully paid home, plus a home where you still have about 200 over thousand because you refinanced it. So it's about 1,000 plus. So every month net you got 2,500 extra only plus your income. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just adding a few more reality scenes and variations within your original plan. It looks different, and this again all ties back to the two questions that I asked just now. What's the status of retirement? Total zero, or you pace it out. Then when you pace it out, you got more time. Then when you got more time, you just leverage on it and do whatever that you want to do all this while. And since most of the property can sustain itself, why sell? Unless I want to buy a Richard Mille, unless I want to buy a 911 Turbo S, or I want to go to this Europe trip for 6 months time that costs about 300,000, then fine, sell. Besides that, right, why sell? And this leads me to this feeling of somewhat, is there a fear for debts? I don't know, I don't think so that you have a fear for debt, because ultimately you got 6 properties lah. It's not your first time buying a property or so, but why the urgency to sell everything? Then the last question is about Sunway Journey. Do I think it's a good buy? I think it's okay. And I assume you like the location because you're from that location. So you're going to be very, very familiar with it based on your track record of purchasing, right? You know how to balance between market price, latest transacted, and rental yield. So the only question you need to ask for that is, do you like the project? That's about it lah. From a reputable developer in a very matured location, nothing to be concerned of. Will you make outstanding amount of profit moving forward? I don't think so lah. But at this rate, you want secured deal, you want safe property developer, you want a contractor that's responsive to your complaints and they have all the system in place to serve you, right? That is what you want at this rate. That is for own stay. So when you check the project, check the car park lots. How's the experience of going up the car park? Because you're coming in from a landed owner point of view, right? Car park is the first culture shock. The location of the common areas, for example, from the corridor to your unit, how's the experience like? Are you buying the corner or intermediate? Where's the refuse area? Is there a fire partition between the lift lobby to the corridor? There will be a retail within the project as well. So what's the walking connectivity to it? And from an MRT point of view, where will you be going? So do check that as well, because when you talk about MRT connectivity, there's so many in the market. right? The only reason why you pick this is because it's close to your daughters lah. But personally, like, do you like to go TRX? Do you like to go KLCC? Or do you always go Subang Jaya, go whatever? You just look into that line and everything is up on the MRT website, right? You can just check it out. That will be my suggestion, because it's going to be somewhat a drastic change from a door-to-door experience. Because from a landed point of view now, you come out from the house, you go to your car, you drive out from the car to the shop, right? It's always like that. When you move to an apartment, it's from your unit to the lift, to the car park, to the car, drive out already. Then you go back to your retail. But if you take MRT, you don't even go to your car already, so the amount of things on you as a person in your handbag or whatsoever, right? Your water bottle becomes essential now, your power bank becomes essential right now. You no longer have the movable locker that is with you all the time, right? Ultimately, that's what a car is. But just to re-emphasize again, the major culture shock will be when you park your car in the apartment. Please pay a little bit more attention to that. And what kind of ramp? Is it a circular ramp? Is it a speed ramp? The worst is the scissors ramp lah. You go 2, 2A, 3, 3A, 4, 4A. I haven't checked out the project before. Just to conclude this email a little bit, right? I think if I am in your position, I'll have deep conversations with my husband on the retirement plan first. Is it instant zero, or we slowly do until no business, or we slowly do until no people want to hire us? Then even when people want to give us more job, we can decline because we don't need the money anymore. Then what to do with the extra free time? Do we start going vacation? Instead of passively receiving invitation from relatives, right now we actively ask ourselves where we want to go. Can't believe I'm saying this because I don't really like vacation, but maybe it will change. Because I'm very inspired by my mentor. Maybe in 10 more years I take $500,000 out just to finish it on traveling, right? Wow, that would be a whole hassle altogether. Maybe I'll become a travel vlogger next time. Don't know, as an elderly, this is the places you should go. That would be my main approach to the matter. I will slow down, I will just slowly adapt to the retirement life. Then when I'm 60 or 65, your plans of exiting the shop lot and the cluster home to fully pay off the 2 apartments, then you have positive cash flow, right? That's perfect as well. So you just slowly progress. Just a reminder to pay attention to the market conditions. Because the future is going to be very, very exciting for Malaysia. We have the best tourism numbers right now. Singapore and Malaysia now, like Abang Ade, we got so many infrastructures going on. It's going to be a good time. Meanwhile, go exercise, start strengthening your muscles, strengthening your mind, and prepare for retirement. Hey, traveling quite tough one Retiring, right, with all the time, you got nothing to do, right? Go and make more friends, go yoga, go Pilates, go pickleball, whatever lah. Because retirement, I do think you need hobbies, you need companies, you need friends. Because the main thing is after you quit your full-time job, no friends already, right? You are also living a life that not many people have. On a Tuesday afternoon, hey, I found this Thai restaurant very nice, you want to come or not? Who can entertain you? Then if you really find an omakase that you really like, right, who can go with you? So it requires preparation. That's all I'm saying. But thank you very much for sharing your plans, sharing your details. You are living the example that I'm trying to get all Malaysians to have. By 55, to retire with 6 properties on hand that can sustain itself actually. Very good Plus 1 million on the side to spend. Both children graduate already. The running tap water you can close already, right? Maybe their wedding lah. But both of them were apartment already, so I don't think there's anything more you can do. Yeah, I wish you nothing but the best. And this email actually got me thinking about my retirement life already. Mine is going to look so different. But food for thought, right? It's a good thing to think about. Ultimately, property is nothing but a tool. And that's the greatest takeaway that I got inspired by your email. For those who still have any question regarding real estate, do just email me at taniherng@gmail.com, or you can just DM me on Instagram, iherng, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Ciao.